Hey there, this is Robert St-Jacques, and I'm back to answer some more of your questions. So let's get on with it. So the first question is, how do I shift to performance goals? Well, that's a great question, given that it's what I do pretty much every day as I help organizations transition and shift towards more performance goals. So what do we mean by performance goals? What we're talking about here is focusing more on outcomes rather than outputs, right? So if you think about it, you've got these outputs, right? These are things that you do every day. These are your tasks, your projects, your initiatives, your activities. And this is stuff that you work on every day. It's when people say, "quote, that's my job," right? When you're looking at performance goals, what you're doing is asking the question, so what? Why am I doing this, right? To what end? What am I trying to achieve with this? And so, when you're starting and shifting towards performance goals, you need to get out of the mindset of a series of tasks or activities and move more towards outcomes, right? And this is where the OKR framework comes in handy, right? So if you're writing a goal, what science tells us is that a well-written goal usually, includes some sort of qualitative aspirational statement and also includes, some quantitative milestones attached to it, like OKRs. But the important piece is that these are outcome orientated, right? And the reason why we focus on outcomes or the end result of a series of tasks and or projects. And I'll give you an example. You can have an objective of, I want to improve our customer experience. Great, everybody would agree that's a good thing. The second, one of the milestones you may have is we want to increase our net promoter score with our customers from 40 to 50. Great. That doesn't happen like that, right? That is not a single project. It's probably a set of initiatives, activities, and projects that are related to that. Some of the outputs that are related, right? Some of the things that you're going to do daily in terms of improving the customer experience, maybe improving your processes, improving the communications, improving staff training. So you can see there's a lot of activities or outputs that are related to focusing on outcomes, which is an increase in net promoter score, which is evidence of improving the customer experience. So in terms of getting started with it, it starts from the top. So we, for example, in OKRs, we say it's top down, bottom up. So leaders got to lead. You can't abdicate that. And so the leaders, set out to, provide what are the 3, 4, maybe 5 outcomes, main performance goals that you're looking for. Cascade those down. And I don't mean cascade in terms of forcing people to follow. I mean cascade in terms of communicate to people. And then the bottom up aspect comes in where then individual employees and or teams come back and say, okay, this is how we would like to contribute to those outcomes. So in terms of shifting to performance goals, just remember a few things. Top down, bottom up. You've got to have well-written goals themselves that include an aspirational qualitative statement and some quantitative milestones. And then you make sure that you wrap that all into an ecosystem, which is reinforced by transparency and regular one-on-ones and feedback.